welcome back to our channel, guys. Today is a fabulous Tuesday. The sun is shining, but honestly, my mood is entirely derailed because we have to talk about the absolute madness going down in Genoa City right now. And I am not okay. Oh my god, I'm screaming. I was literally eating dinner, just having some pasta, and I literally choked when the new promo dropped. My jaw dropped to the floor. I had to pause and text my friend immediately like, did you see Nikki's face? I can't even deal right now. Okay, listen. The Young and the Restless promo for the week of May 25th to 29th just came out, and it is giving me literal palpitations. You guys, Nikki Newman is in serious trouble, and I am freaking out. In the promo, we see Nikki clutching her head, and she looks like she is in absolute agony. Like, she is wincing, she can barely keep her eyes open, and she's complaining to Victoria about this massive headache. She literally says, "This headache, I thought it was gone, but now it's back." And Victoria is standing there looking so worried, and honestly, same Victoria, same. At this point I am yelling at my screen because Nikki looks so fragile and terrified. The writers are zooming in on this headache way too much for it to just be a normal migraine. You know how soap operas work. They don't just give someone a headache for no reason. I'm calling it now. This is going to end badly. Mark my words. This is not just stress. This is a major medical crisis. At first, I was like, are you serious? Is this just her multiple sclerosis acting up again? Because we know Nikki has battled MS for years and flare-ups happen. But no, this feels different. This feels deeper. What if it's a brain tumor? I am literally shaking at the thought. A brain tumor or some massive neurological disease that is going to completely turn her entire life upside down. Y&R loves a tragic medical storyline, and I feel like they are setting Nikki up for the fight of her life. But honestly, even if it is a brain tumor, why wouldn't her brain be short-circuiting right now anyway? The stress this woman is under is insane. She needs to get it together, I swear. But how can she when her entire family is falling apart? Let's just talk about the stress for a second because I am personally offended by what they are putting Nikki through. First of all, Nick, her son is literally battling a severe fentanyl addiction. Matt Clark, who is an absolute psycho, and don't even get me started on that, kidnapped Nick, tortured him, and forced him into this horrific drug spiral. Nick is in an outpatient rehab program right now, and he is struggling so much. As a mother and as a recovering alcoholic herself, Nikki is feeling every single ounce of Nick's pain. She knows exactly the demons he is fighting because she fought the bottle for decades. The emotional toll of watching your child fight for their life against addiction is enough to give anyone a severe physical reaction. Oh wait, before that happened, actually, I forgot to mention earlier, Victor. Victor Newman is being so unhinged lately, and it is driving me crazy. Why would he do that? Victor has been acting like a total monster. He literally orchestrated the kidnapping of Jack Abbott, trapped him on a yacht, and used Patty Williams, a delusional, unstable woman, to drug Jack and sexually compromise him. The audacity. Nikki, being the only person with a moral compass right now, obviously sided with Jack because what Victor did was vile. And how does Victor react? He ices her out. Victor is being so incredibly stubborn, it makes my blood boil. He refuses to apologize to Nikki. He refuses to invite her back to the ranch. He is just sitting in his office, plotting against Michael Baldwin and Jack, and acting like Nikki committed some massive treason by calling out his toxic behavior. He is literally letting his marriage fall apart because his ego is too big. So Nikki is dealing with a husband who is treating her like an enemy, a son who is in rehab, and now her head feels like it's going to explode. Not okay. I'm done. Wait, did I already say that? Whatever. Anyway, I haven't even gotten to the worst parts of Nikki's stress. Diane literally orchestrated a fake car accident and blamed Nikki for it. She told everyone Nikki was the one driving and tried to frame her for attempted murder. Like, are you serious right now? Diane is so dramatic and evil for this, and Jack is just believing her fake tears and publicly trashing Nikki in the media. Nikki is sitting there watching her reputation get dragged through the mud by her best friend Jack, all because Diane is a manipulative monster who bought up Jack's debt and is controlling him. The legal battles, the public humiliation. It is literally too much for one person to handle. And Patty, oh my god, Patty Williams is literally plotting to eliminate Nikki. Patty has convinced her delusional self that Nikki is the biggest emotional threat to her getting Jack. Because Nikki has been comforting Jack during all this trauma, Patty wants her permanently gone. So Nikki is walking around Genoa City with a literal target on her back from a psychotic woman who has already drugged Jack and ruined lives, and she might have a brain tumor. The woman needs a break. I swear, she is fighting a war on like 5 different fronts. Okay, where was I? Right, so the headache. Victoria is definitely going to force her mother to go to the doctor. I can already see the scene playing out. Victoria is going to be like, "Mom, you can't ignore this anymore. We are going to the hospital right now." And Nikki will try to brush it off because she's stubborn too, but the pain is going to be too much. They are going to do an MRI, and the doctor is going to walk in with that grim soap opera doctor face, and they are going to drop the bomb. A mass, a tumor, something life-threatening. I am going to be a sobbing mess when this happens. I just know it. And this is where it gets crazy, because think about how Victor is going to react. At this point, I'm yelling at my screen just imagining Victor getting the phone call. He has been so cold, so distant, so wrapped up in his petty revenge against Jack and his fury over Michael Baldwin's betrayal. But when Victoria calls him, crying, telling him that Nikki is in the hospital with a terminal or life-threatening diagnosis, his entire world is going to stop. I'm calling it right now. This medical crisis is going to be the ultimate wake-up call for Victor Newman. He is going to realize that all of his power, all of his money, all of his revenge plots mean absolutely nothing if he loses the love of his life. Victor is going to drop everything. He will literally fly in the best neurosurgeons from across the globe. He will buy the hospital if he has to. We are going to see Victor Newman, the big bad ruthless mob boss of Genoa City, completely break down. He is going to fall to his knees by her hospital bed, and it is going to be iconic television. He is going to apologize. He has to. He will sit by her bed, holding her hand, and he will beg her for forgiveness. He will realize that pushing her away over the Jack Abbott yacht incident was the biggest mistake of his life. When you are faced with the mortality of your soulmate, all that petty drama just fades away. Victor is going to look at Nikki, pale and fragile in that hospital bed, and he is going to swear to protect her and love her and drop this ridiculous feud. But honestly, will he drop the feud? Because Jack is going to want to visit Nikki too. Jack and Nikki have grown so close lately because they are both suffering in their marriages. Jack has been leaning on Nikki, and Nikki has been leaning on Jack. If Nikki is fighting for her life, Jack is going to rush to the hospital. Can you imagine the tension between Victor and Jack in the waiting room? But maybe, just maybe, Nikki's illness will force them to call a temporary truce. Or maybe Victor will ban Jack from the floor and cause a massive scene. Honestly, both are so likely, and I am here for the drama. And wait, my brain is spinning right now. What about Patty? If Nikki is confined to a hospital bed, she is literally a sitting duck. Patty Williams wants Nikki dead. What if Patty dresses up as a nurse and sneaks into Nikki's hospital room while she is recovering from brain surgery? I cannot breathe. That would be the most unhinged thriller plot ever. Victor would have to step up and physically protect his wife from this psycho that he brought back into their lives. The irony is just good. Victor unleashed Patty to hurt Jack, and now Patty might use Nikki's medical vulnerability to strike. It is poetic cinema, honestly. I am just so emotionally invested in these people like they are my real-life family. I see Nikki clutching her head, and I literally want to reach through the screen and give her an aspirin and a hug. She has survived cults, alcoholism, MS, shootings, and Victor's endless nonsense. She cannot go out like this. She has to fight it. Victoria is going to be an absolute wreck, too. She is already dealing with the stress of keeping Kane in jail with her fake AI evidence to protect the company, and Billy is yelling at her about his own arrest. And now her mother is collapsing from head pain. The Newman family is literally crumbling to dust. Nick is in rehab, Nikki is facing a brain tumor, Victoria is committing felonies, and Victor is throwing tantrums. It is a hot mess express, and I have my ticket punched for the front row. I really hope the writers give us a deep, emotional storyline here. We need those classic Victor and Nikki moments where they strip away all the anger and just focus on their epic love story. Because let's be real, no matter how toxic they are, Victor and Nikki belong together. And nothing brings soap couples back together faster than a near-death medical emergency. I just need Nikki to be okay in the end. If they kill off Nikki Newman, I am literally boycotting the network. I swear to God. Anyway, I have to go calm down because my heart rate is way too high for a Tuesday evening. I am going to be obsessively refreshing the spoiler pages to see if the brain tumor theory is confirmed. Let me know what you guys think. Are we getting a tragic diagnosis, or is it just a stress migraine from dealing with Victor's massive ego? I'm betting on the tumor.